Hello friends, we'll now do the second part of income from house property. Now section 25A, 25A, 25B, 26, 27 will be covered in this segment. Now section 25A and section 25AA both deal with recovery of unreleased rent, thus 25B deals with the arrears of rent. So there are 3 points are common for all the 3 sections, section 25A, 25W and 25B. 3 common points are: 1, the year of taxability. All of them will be chargeable tax in the year in which the amount is recovered. The head of income is always going to be income from house property. Even if the assessee is not the owner in the relevant previous year, the head of income will remain as income from house property. But when it comes to the question of the last point, whether standard deduction is available or not, where in the case of 25A, you will not get standard deduction at all. So in the case of 25AA, you will get standard deduction or not is going to be based on the assumption. So you can take any of the 2 options. Since the section is silent, you can say that 25AA is available. On the contrary, since the section is not saying it's available, you can also take a stand that 31st standard deduction is not available. Give a clear note in the examination as to why you are claiming and why you are not claiming. So it's sufficient to put your reasoning there. You can take any stand. But as far as section 25B is concerned, you will get 30% deduction. This is specifically provided in the section. Now when 25A will apply becomes the question. Up to assessment year 2001-2002, unreleased rent is a separate deduction. So therefore 25A will apply for those assessees who got deduction for unreleased rent before assessment year 2-3. Thus 25AA will apply for those assessees starting from assessment year 2-3. Unreleased rent is a reduction from actual rent received or receivable. For those assessees who got the benefit in respect of reduction by way of actual rent, or then 25AA will apply. Of course, 25B will apply for any increase in the rent with retrospective effects. That is the scope of section 25B of the Income Tax Act. Now, section 26 deals with the co-owners. Now, when there are more than one person to the property, that is, joint ownership is there in the property, then section 26 deals with how to tax such properties. If the share of each co-owner is known, then you have to further find out whether the property is self-occupied or let out. If the property is self-occupied, each co-owner can claim the annual value 0, and each co-owner is entitled to claim the interest up to 30,000 or 1,50,000 as the case may be. So in case if the property is let out, the total income from house property will be divided or shared between the 2 co-owners, and it will be included in their individual assessment. It won't be assessed as of an association of persons or body of individuals. Now, what will happen if the share of each co-owner is not known? The entire income from house property will be assessed as the property of AOP or BOI. Now, we'll now move on to section 27. Section 27 deals with the concept of deemed ownership. So, normally the person who is chargeable tax is only the legal owner. In certain circumstances, section 27 says person other than legal owner will be chargeable tax. You can call them as a deemed owner, or when person other than legal owner will be chargeable tax. Now, section 27(1) to section 27(3) deals with the same. If an individual transfers house property to his or her spouse for inadequate consideration, not being agreement to live apart, then the transfer will be taken as deemed owner. If the property is transferred to minor child, not being a married daughter, for inadequate consideration, then the transferor parents will be taken as deemed owner. The holder of impartible estate will be deemed to be the owner in respect of the properties comprising that estate. And in case a part performance of the contract in age 53 is complete, that is, a possession of the property is handed over, the consideration is paid by the buyer, and once the possession is taken over, even if registration is not complete, on the date of registration, the buyer will be taken as a deemed owner. Similarly, a member of a cooperative society or association of persons or body of individuals or a company will be deemed to be owner in respect of building site allotted him as a part of house building scheme of such society or AOP or BOI or company. Then if you hold a lease for 12 years or more, then after the expiry of 12 years, the person who is occupying the property will be taken as the deemed owner of the house property. Now, apart from these specific provisions, couple of other interesting points which you should take into account in the case of income from house property. What are the circumstances in which income from house property is taxable under other heads of income, either business income or income from other sources. Now, even if the property is held as stock in trade, the most important one, even if the property is held as stock in trade, the general rule is income will be chargeable tax only under IHB. So that is where we are looking at the exceptions here. One, if the property is let out to government for locating post office, banks, etc., and if the letting out is more for the purpose of doing the business more efficiently, then the income will come under business income. Letting of staff quarters will come under business income. So if the income is mainly attributable to services rendered like hotels, etc., then the income will go to business income or income from other sources, as the case may be. So similarly, the rent is a composite rent both for the property as well as for various amenities provided. The amount attributable to amenities will go to other sources or business income. Similarly, so any income derived from cell phone towers or advertisement put on the roof of the building, all of them will be chargeable tax under other sources or business income. Okay friends, this will complete income from house property. So the key areas which you may have to watch out for: partly let out, partly self-occupied, interest on capital borrowed for self-occupied properties, pre-construction interest, which is going to be allowed in 5 installments. So just watch out for this kind of an areas in income from house property. This could be a dark cards for this particular examination. Thank you very much. So our other slides or other videos will follow.